Because this was the first permanent English settlement in America, these newcomers would soon find out that surviving in the New World would prove surprisingly difficult. The Jamestown settlers chose this site for a few reasons. One major reason was the location. It was on the end of a peninsula, surrounding the colonists with water on 3 sides, making it easy to defend. Sometimes the peninsula would even flood, making it an actual island. Another reason, the location provided a port, which would be valuable and essential to the settlement's success.
Homeschooled because they didn't have public schools for children from little to what would now be 12th grade. So if your parents were uneducated, you were likely to become uneducated too.
The wealthier kids in the gentry class would usually learn by maybe a private school teacher or maybe by their mother or father. Then the poorer kids, the lower class, would usually not learn. Or if they had time, then they would learn by the mother and father. For a slave, learning was kind of an on-job learning. You were taught to do a specific job when you were old enough to do the job.
Some chores were similar to ones the kids do today, like they would make their beds, and some would scrub the floor and help with food and stuff, but some were very different, like getting water from the well, and you know, now we just turn on a faucet and we get water, but they would have to open up the well and pull the water and transfer it to other buckets, and there's a lot more work.
So at the James Getty house, he was a silversmith, so his sons and daughters would probably be polishing silver, sweeping, keeping the shop tidy.
Well, if they were lucky, they'd be doing sewing. If they weren't, they'd be out in the fields. They might also be helping with their mother in the kitchen, or the slave that they have in the kitchen.
And helping their mother and cooking if they were a woman, and helping their father and learning an apprenticeship if they were a male.
That's kind of a hard question to answer, especially from a slave's point of view. The only day they would ever get any time to themselves would be on Sundays, and the time that they would mostly spend for Sundays would be they would be out in their gardens. If they had a garden, they would also tend to their chickens if they had those.
Slaves would usually play mancala, but then it wasn't really one for laughs and fun. It was used for slaves and children to learn how to count, because what if your master told you to put up 16 fences? Then you'd know what 16 is.
When their chores were done, they had time for fun, like coop and stick. They played with mainly homemade things on stilts. They played trap ball. They just played like jacks, and they drew on slates, and they danced. Dancing was a lot of fun for all ages.
A day in a colonial child's life. No school? Sounds good. But children in the first settlements still had to learn how to read, write, and add. And they had to do it in between feeding chickens, working in the fields, churning butter, dipping candles, and watching their brothers and sisters. A lot of work. From the age of 3, a child was expected to work around the house. Simple chores, such as wood gathering, kept little kids out of the way of busy moms and dads. For much of the day, kids rarely saw a grown-up. Girls learned how to cook and mend, keep a garden, and make medical potions. Boys learned how to build houses, clear fields, and shoot straight. They learned what they needed to know to survive. A little play. All work, no play? Of course not. Between all the chores and learning, there was still time to play games. Kids rolled hoops and played ring toss games. They played checkers with light and dark stones. There were dominoes made of wood and dolls to hug. Kids were still kids.